Council low-speed micro-mobility device.
I think I'm like an electronic wheelchair remote control car. I don't know. Look at that. Probably the delivery stuff for Amazon and stuff.
I mean, when they go on walks, I'm low-speed, but I don't know if I'm micro-mobility.
I don't see it.
Are we good?
We're good.
Well, it is exactly 7 o'clock, so I will call this meeting to order. And Kevin, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Babcock,
Here,
Mrs. Sweet,
Here.
Mr. Bear,
Here.
Mr. Whitaker,
Here.
Mrs. Fogel,
Here.
and Mr. Hannah.
Here. All members of council are present this evening. Would you please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And welcome, everyone. This is the regular session of the Enon Village Council, and this is Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. Any additions to our agenda this evening? Chief, I know we're going to swear in an officer this evening, so we'll put that right under the financial report. All right, let's go into minutes of the July 27th, 2021 meeting. And if council is satisfied with those minutes, we would entertain a motion and a second to approve.
So moved. Second.
Call the roll.
Mr. Babcock,
yes.
Mrs. Sweet,
Yes.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker,
Abstain.
Mrs. Fogel,
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
Yes. Those minutes are approved as submitted. Going into the financial report, this would be for July. And looking at the cash summary by fund, really all of those funds are in pretty good shape for this time of the year. The water fund's a little bit low. We're paying on the water tower. And Kevin, I think have we received that final invoice on that?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
So I
good
turned
deal.
it in to Laura here last Friday, so.
Okay,
Yep.
so we'll be done with that project then. Appropriation status, let's see, for our general fund, our expenditures, we're about 60% through the year. We're sitting at about 52%, so we're good there. And when we move into the street, about 36%. And I know you've got the paving project coming up. That's going to be, what, 25,000?
Yes, right around
Okay.
that area, yes.
So that'll be a big expenditure there. Going into the police levy, about 54%. So we're good there. And then when we look at our water fund, that one's kind of hard to read. That's actually on the last page, but we're about 68%. And a large portion, obviously, is due to the tank reconstruction. On the revenue side, if you look at the revenue status, we should be receiving, well, I don't know, they extended the deadline for the first half of taxes. I don't know whether they've done that or not, but sometime in August, we should be receiving those second half real estate taxes that will go into the general fund. Looking at the street construction, we've got that $100,000 on there, and that is tied to that Bob White project, so I'm not sure how that's going to shake out. Kevin, the next time Laura's in, let's find out how that's going to be recorded on here, but that's why that was put in there. Police levy, 56%. Again, that's tied directly to real estate taxes. Water operating is doing well, about 64%. So overall, we're about 59-60%. And in the last packet, we have the bank reconciliation from our fiscal officer. And I would entertain a motion and a second to approve those financial reports.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock,
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
Tim, did Laura say one way or another when we might be receiving the ARP funds? The American Recovery Plan?
I think it was like within 10
Within 10 days.
10 to,
Yeah.
And the 10 days is up this Thursday, so as of today, it was not in there yet, so.
Okay,
and I don't know whether that was 10 business days or 10 calendar days.
Right,
So
probably business.
yeah.
She said that
so-
if it wasn't in there on Thursday, she's gonna start calling on Friday, see what's going
Okay,
on, so.
thanks.
And just a real quick follow-up to that, I've asked our staff to really fine-tune our projects. I know that we're in the process of getting some estimates for some of those projects in the water. Mike, you've got some things that you've got cooking as well, and we'll get all those put together and we'll be ready to roll. So, Chief, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Thank you. Tonight I have Caleb Taylor be sworn in as a part-time police officer. Caleb's a graduate of the Clark State Police Academy and he's a resident here in Clark County. So welcome him on as a part-time officer.
Cool.
Come on up there to the center there. Put you in the spot. And you guys can keep family and friends. Come up here and stand with me.
Typically, you guys come right on up and stand beside him and show support. This is a participation swearing in ceremony, so we'd love to see you up front here. Hey, we have okay. Guys all set? Okay, so hey, if you would, raise your right hand and you're gonna repeat after me and I'll go very slow, okay? I, Caleb Taylor,
I, Caleb Taylor,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
the codified ordinances
the codified ordinances
of the Village of Enon,
of the Village of Enon,
and will faithfully,
and will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of police officer
of police officer
of the Village of Enon,
of the Village of Enon,
Clark County, Ohio,
Clark County, Ohio,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Sorry, sorry. I went back to get up for him. Bad timing on my part. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Which one?
All of you.
You're just testing me.
Taking a shot at
Testing
me.
your dexterity.
Kevin, did we have, was there no presentation tonight on another Eagle Scout?
No,
project?
that's, next meeting.
Gotcha, okay, so no presentations. Under communication, I do have a proclamation that I will read, I'll summarize, and this is a proclamation that the Village of Enon does every year. And it reads as follows: whereas the month of September has been declared National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and whereas in Ohio, an estimated 9,000 new cases of prostate cancer will be diagnosed, and an estimated 2,000 deaths will occur in 2021. And whereas education regarding prostate cancer and early detection strategies is critical to saving lives and preserving and protecting families. Whereas the Village of Enon joins communities across our nation to increase the awareness about the importance for men to make an informed decision with their health about early detection and testing for prostate cancer. Now therefore, I, Timothy Howard, Mayor of the Village of Enon, on behalf of myself, the Enon Village Council, and the citizens of the Village of Enon, do proclaim the month of September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in the Village of Enon and encourage citizens to participate in this observance. And with that, Kevin, I'll turn it over to you for staff reports.
All right, thank you, Mayor, Council, residents. First item there on my agenda, the Mayor's Court Report in your packet. For the month of July, there were 22 cases, 21 traffic, and 1 OMVI. Total funds received for the month was $3,163. Year-to-date was $18,463. Total funds remitted to the state, $525. Year-to-date, $2,287. Total remitted to the village for the month was $2,617. Year-to-date was $16,101. Total dispersed $3,163. Year-to-date $18,436.
I'll move that we accept the mayor's court report as presented.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
All right. I got a couple things. Get 'em here. I'm gonna move down to my updates, item number 4 first. Once again, this Thursday, August 12th at 10 o'clock, I will be attending the Clark County Subcommittee meeting to review the OPWC infrastructure applications that we turned in, that everybody turned in. We turned ours in for the resurfacing of Enon Xenia Road. So I'll be attending that on Thursday. And then on Friday, the 13th, the Transportation Coordinating Committee annual meeting is 10:30. I signed myself and the mayor up for that. We'll be attending that. That's Friday at 10:30.
That is a great, well, it used to be a great networking opportunity. I'm not sure how things are going to play out, with the current conditions, but anybody that is interested in going, please get a hold of Kevin and you're welcome to attend.
Yeah, I'm already signed up to go as a TCC member.
Okay. The Ohio Plan representative, Mike Hennekamp, met with myself and Mike, and during a Zoom meeting, we had a pretty good meeting, I think, and he had some very good, he responded to us here this past week with some very good suggestions on our personnel policy manual, some changes, some additions, things like that, as well as he did talk about the salary issue, things like that, gave us some pointers on that, I guess. So with that, I think that we're going to sit down, myself and Mike and the mayor, and kind of go over what he sent to us and kind of review it and see if we can't come up with a game plan. And he did send a proposal as well on what it would cost if he did some of the work, if they did all the work, with our items of interest. So we will be, as time goes on, we will be relaying that information to y'all as well. So
I think he's been so far a very good resource to the village, and I'm not sure how we made initial contact with him, but I'm glad we did, and I think he's going to have a lot of good insight for us and help bring that project to a conclusion.
yeah. I did meet with Ian Young and Mike and the mayor out to the park. He's the Eagle Scout that was here, presented his project to council for the Gaga Ball pit. We did come up with a site out there at the park where we thought it'd be kind of out of the way of the playground area, so the little kids and things like that. So right now he is putting together a package, basically like a project package. He's going to be the project manager of this. So we discussed with him that he can put together something, bring it to us, show us what it's all about, and we can go from there. But as of right now, we do have a site for that. So I'm hoping that possibly by the next meeting he might have that done. So.
And And I want to make it very clear, the staff is obviously very supportive. Mike, you've offered to help along with Kevin, and we are encouraging him. This could be kind of a costly project based upon what, we saw the other day. So he may need some outside help, assistance with contacts and that type of stuff to get possibly donations for materials if it goes forward. But I appreciate you guys, and that's what we want to be. We want to be very helpful. We don't want to do the work for them. That's what they're supposed to do, but
Right, yeah.
kind of give them some guidance. So I appreciate that.
And once again, the relief money, there was a 10-day grace period. And as of Thursday, our 10 days will be up. And once, like I said, Laura will be contacting them if by Friday if she hasn't seen anything in Thursday. So got that. Let's see here. Okay, I got a couple ordinances. One is for the authorization for myself to submit application for the OPWC Enon Xenia Road improvement. This needs to be adopted to go along with the application that was turned in. So I don't know if you want me to read that whole thing or just.
You can read it by title if that's the wish of the council. Wishes of the council.
That's fine.
Emergency ordinance number 2021-03, an ordinance authorizing the village administrator of the village of Enon, Ohio to submit an application and sign all required documents with OPWC for Enon Xenia Road Improvement Project and declaring an emergency.
I'll move that we waive the 3 reading rule.
I'll second.
Call a roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
And we'll need a motion and a second to pass ordinance 2021-03.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any other discussion? Kevin, we're counting on you at that meeting, right? You're going to have a voice and all that, so.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
And the other one that's listed here is an ordinance adopting, or an ordinance approving the codified editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as parts of various component codes of the codified ordinances of Enon, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Motion to waive the 3 reading rule.
Second.
Call a roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
And we'll need a motion and a second to approve
So moved.
this ordinance.
Second.
And just real quick for people that are not familiar with this, these changes have already occurred either at the state level or local level here in Enon, and we are simply codifying them, getting them updated into our ordinances with our numbers. These are not brand-new ordinances. They have already been passed previously.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
And I think that's all I have for now, Mayor.
Questions for our administrator? Thanks, Kevin. Everybody's doing a good job. Park looks good. If you haven't seen it lately, they've restained the picnic tables, shelter houses. We keep doing improvements down there, and we all appreciate that.
Coming right along, yes, they're doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council. Good evening, residents. I want to talk about the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. Will kick off August 19th and run through September 7th. This Friday out at Young's Dairy, law enforcement and the health department will be out there doing a little thing where you can get some information and have some goggles and stuff out there. I believe it starts at 11, runs to about 1:30. I'll be out there.
Free beer?
No free beer this year. August 19th, September 7th.
Thank you.
We usually run that year round, but the campaign for it is then. Our part-time officer tonight, Mr. Taylor, he will bring our part-time staffing up to 4 part-time. This is his first commission, so he's starting his career off with us there. We had a meeting earlier this week or late last week. I'm running behind here because I have so many of them. But we met with the school, the mayor, and administrator just over the construction and the traffic control out there. They're going to put a traffic light in, as you all well know, right there at Arnold and the entrance of the school. Some of the guidelines for putting up a traffic device, they have to have it in operation for so many days before they can have it cycling through its cycles. They hope to get it up in time to have it flashing the yellow, which is following the rules, and then have it cycling by the first day of school, which is the Tuesday, September 7th, I believe. Yes. So obviously I'm skeptical about traffic flow because that's something I've been watching for years. I do think it'll help, and after sitting through that meeting, it definitely shed some light on it. So I'm glad we did that. Residents need to expect that. We'll be out there helping residents along. I don't think anybody will not notice a traffic light there, but I think it'll do what they're supposed to do. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully it's a project gets up and running on time.
And the key, I think, Mike, is, and I didn't know this, the ODOT rules, is it will begin that flashing period. That's kind of to get everybody's attention. That's not how it's going to end up. It's going to go through a cycling, but it has to start out by law, evidently, as a flash.
Yeah, that's correct.
So,
and because that's that holiday weekend, right there at the first week of September, that's why they need to get it up. Was it I'm not really sure, but it's 27th, the Thursday before the holiday, which was Monday. If they get it installed on that time, it'll allow that time to flash yellow to let everybody know that the light's going to be there, and then it'll be able to function to start a school. So I don't see why they wouldn't have it. I know it will be a temporary traffic control device at first before they get up the permanent structure for the poles and all that. So just let the residents know that that's coming, and then with the busing. Having the separate entrances for the buses and the parent drop-off and student parking, I think that was a big bonus for us because I know that the buses and the traffic of dropping off really caused some backup there throughout the year. So I think having them separate, I think it's going to be good. I don't foresee any issues, but if there are, if people bring them to our attention, we'll get with the school and we'll all straighten it out best we can.
And I know a good connection with the bus part of it, so.
As do I, yes. We got our cradle points. They're functioning really good. I just wanted to let council know that I did buy those off of. I bought the antennas off Amazon because it was it was decent deals on Amazon. Let's not. But the distributor I bought them from, they only had a 30-day window. I did have one that kind of malfunctioned, but I was able to reach out to the manufacturer that made them, and they were very nice to go ahead and replace that with what they was a demo one they had laying around at no cost. And also they forwarded contact information with a vendor that is an authorized retailer for them to help us with the future purchases for warranty and stuff like that. So it was a learning curve for me, but it did all work out, and I'll take that down to P&R in the morning, have them switch it out, and everything will be functioning. So other than that, field any questions, and that's all my
It's a nice
report.
update for our department.
Yes.
That is going to work out well, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's working out great.
It's already, okay.
Yeah, we already have them in there. I just had one that went down, but
I got you.
I had to troubleshoot it a little bit, which was good because I didn't want to have to send the whole entire device back, but I was able to track it down, and it looks like it's going to be the antenna. So there's so many working parts in there, and I just moved them around.
There's going to
so-
be one little glitch in there.
Yeah, but they're working out great, and so we're good.
I have a question about the traffic light at Arnold and Enon Senior. Will there be painted crosswalks on the road?
My understanding is they're going to paint some crosswalks and put some signs up there.
Good, thank you.
Yes.
And follow up to that, is that going to be a constant 24-hour cycling light, or after hours, can it be reverted back over to a caution
Flash
for
on.
north and south?
My understanding, it's going to be constant, 24 hours, and
There's I think they're having
They're going to put
pads
a,
in,
they,
in the asphalt. or
yeah, they're
something.
going to put a sensor out there, I believe, in
Sensors.
the school. He talked about putting a sensor out there, and I asked him if it was going to be a sensor like I was used to as a child, or is it going to, is it going to be a newer one? But it looks like it's going to be functioning all the time.
And the other thing that I got out of it is I think there's going to be some flexibility once the dust settles with all the traffic. So if there needs to be some adjustments made, I think they would be open to doing that. So,
Adjustments on the timer, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, with
Yes.
putting a sensor in there, that led me to believe that they might leave it open north and south, and then the east and west
East and west,
be
sure.
tripped. And with the intersection of Stein and Xenia, Rebert and Xenia, it's not like a traffic light wouldn't benefit the residents out there. That you're going from a 55 to a 35, it's pretty quick and there's pretty busy intersections. When we have accidents at Rebert and Xenia, they are, I don't want to say good ones. They're ones that cause a little bit of damage, so, and some injury. So hopefully that'll help. But again, this is new, and they were very good, open with us, and they were open to working with us. So we'll keep rolling with them, and we'll do the best we can to make it work. But it's there, so.
And Mike, we appreciate the fact that we are going to have a presence out there the first few days as
Yep.
we're able to do that. Now, we didn't commit to anything, but the fact that the first few days we're going to have a good presence, and I think that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, we will have a heavier presence of marked units, not necessarily not to write tickets, but just to help everybody get used to it, help with traffic control, and then all that. So that will be our primary goal for the first week or so. Yep.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Questions for our chief? Any more questions for our
Thanks, Mike.
chief? Okay, good report. Thank you. Thanks to both of you for your work.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Well, we have nothing else on our agenda on committee reports, old business, new business, unless council has anything.
Perhaps maybe I should have mentioned in communications, we did stop, I think it was last Thursday evening, for the memorial service for Doc Schumann, and passed on the village's concerns and well thoughts to Patty about how well we thought of Doc, and for what it's worth. But at least we did reach out during that.
Thank you for attending.
Yeah.
Comments from the public this evening? Mr. Wozak? We all know your face. The smiling face.
Well, there you go. I'm Chuck Wazak, Village of Enon resident. A question for Village Council concerning this combined school district. Since the Greenon School is now entirely within the Village of Enon confines, should there be established a Village of Enon standing committee to coordinate VOE and Greenon combined school issues? Some of the things that we've been talking about, for instance, policing, traffic, public safety, water issues, snow removal. I have no idea, but my thought is that perhaps it would be worthwhile, now that they are entirely within the Village of Enon, that perhaps a standing committee whereby a representative of the Greenon combined schools was present for that committee, for those committee meetings, would be very helpful from the standpoint of information flow, collecting it together, getting the department heads all coordinating under one committee chair. It's just a thought, but I know that is a significant add to the Village of Enon, and that might be something that might be considered. Thank you very much for your thoughts.
Good idea. Thank you for your comments.
That was a good idea.
If it's okay with the council, can we, I know you guys are in more contact with the school officials than we are typically. Could you maybe kind of run that by and see what the administration might think idea-wise?
Yeah, I can talk to the superintendent. I know that's a very valid point. Like we discussed at the meeting, that's going to increase our daytime population by over
1,700?
1,700. I think that's a light number, but yeah, over 1,000 from what we originally were with the school, which is a lot, and that's that's constant presence for a long day, so.
From my understanding, though, we've made a lot of conscious efforts to try to reach out to them to partner on different issues previously, and I'm not sure how well it's been receptive. Y'all know that better than
Yeah,
than I
we'll
do.
try it again, yeah.
Appreciate it. Any other comments from our public this evening? No? Okay. Well, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned. Good to see you.